Before I say what I gotta say, let me tell y'all something. One thing about it, y'all talk about Alvo, but Alvo ain't had nothing to do with what her label was doing. Her label was trying to sign me or whatever the case may be, right? And yeah, she seen what she was seeing, but y'all try to sign me. Why y'all focus on him and focus on his father and focus on what's going on? My thing is that I already know what's going on. You feel me? I already know what the problem is. You feel me? Or whatever the case may be. Like I said, y'all need to start trying to blame him because he's not to blame. She just was trying to get him out the picture because of some fact that she, you know what I'm saying, feel like, yeah, our clock is going up or whatever the case may be. He's not using me. Stop, you know what I'm saying, saying that narrow. Like, y'all always just want to pick and bully somebody. And then when somebody really, you know what I'm saying, get on here and speak their opinion, that it's a problem. Like, it's crazy. Like, y'all more focused on him when y'all should be focused on me. First off, I can perform that song because my verse is on there. My verse is on there. You cannot sue me with no deceased or whatever you call this shit. You cannot sue me, love. You can't. What's up, you guys? It's Big Marco. So, I'm just coming out here to let everybody know something, alright? I am booked and busy. And, you know what I'm saying? Fendy is not using me. She's helping me. She opened more doors for me to the point where we're actually is like on tour to, you know, do our big one or whatever. She's not using me. We over here making money. We not trying to be in no drama. I know that y'all used to see me as that Shamar that likes to argue with people and go back and forth with people, but that's not him anymore. Shamar is a whole different person now. Shamar is a rapper now. Shamar is focused on his career. He's focused on his money. He's focused on everything that he has to do. I don't been down, but I came a long way.
If you know Shamar, then you know he's gone from chasing a bag to securing a bag, only to find himself later sleeping in a bag on the streets. His loud and ratchet demeanor, though sometimes humorous, has been both a blessing and a curse to him. So, who exactly is Shamar McCall? Shamar is a name that you might recognize from the social media circle, particularly TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. He's widely known for his journey from homelessness to fame, all while struggling with mental health. Like many who rise to fame, especially through social media, Shamar's life has been affected by the pressures of public attention, and he's also plagued with physical and mental challenges. Though not widely recognized in mainstream media, Shamar has grabbed the attention of social media for being open and candid about his preferences and personal experiences. Like many folk who use social platforms to tell their story, Shamar's journey speaks to the complexities of fame and personal struggle, as well as the challenges of navigating both his public life and personal mental health. If you follow Shamar in his quest to achieve fame, then you've undoubtedly witnessed his rise and fall. You've seen him model, dance, rap, and capture the heart of several men in waiting. His latest relationship with Alvo, however, appears to be complex and somewhat career limiting for him. Alvo has recently gone public in defense of Shamar and the beef that's going on with him and Fendi the rapper. The conflict between Shamar and Fendy began after their collaboration on the song Clock That. So the beef between Shamar and Fendy, it seems to stem from that collaboration that's gone sour. Initially, they worked together on the track Clock That, and Fendi publicly supported Shamar by speaking out against his management, which she accused of treating him unfairly and exploiting him. She even helped him with personal needs like housing and meals. However, tensions got hot when Shamar suggested on Instagram that he was the key to the song's success. downplaying Fendy's contributions. In response, Fendi made a boss move. She re-released the track and replaced Shamar's vocals with a feature from rapper and record producer Soulja Boy up in it. Oh, watch me crack it. Okay, my bad, y'all. Fendi's decision was seen as a statement of independence from the conflict. It was a straight up boss move. The fallout has drawn attention in the hip hop community, with fans and local artists siding with either party, depending on their personal views and really just who you ask. There are so many people in the public eye that deal with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, or trauma, which can be exacerbated by scrutiny and the expectations that come with fame. It's possible that Shamar's challenges are reflective of these larger struggles, but without specific details about Shamar's mental illness, it's difficult to speak about his exact situation beyond the general understanding of the pressures that fame can bring. In essence, Shamar self sabotages to a point of falling from grace after being celebrated by millions of fans and social media followers. But we must ask ourselves the question: should I expect a mentally challenged person to make sound and logical decisions in life? Expecting rational thinking from someone like Shamar, who is mentally challenged, depends on the nature and the extent of his challenges as well as the context of the situation. As I stated, we don't know which category of mental challenge Shamar falls within. We just know that it exists. Regardless, I want to talk about some of the reasons why Shamar may be sabotaging. For one, there's this cognitive ability and reasoning. Mental challenges or intellectual disabilities can affect cognitive processes like problem solving and judgment and even reasoning. While some people may exhibit rational thinking within their capacity, others may tend to struggle due to specific limitations. There's also emotional and behavioral factors. Mental health conditions or developmental disorder, they involve emotional or behavior responses that might not align with conventional or rational thinking. For instance, anxiety or trauma can lead to reactions that seem irrational, but they're understandable given their mental state. Support and context is something else to consider. Rational thinking, it may improve with things like being in a supportive environment, having clear communication, and tailored approaches that consider a person's strengths and their limitations. I personally feel like Fendy was meeting Shamar where he is, if you will. She didn't attempt to talk over his head or try to treat him less than. She shared her very public platform with him and allowed him to be a shining star on the stage with her and with a very captive audience, I must add. Self sabotage before achieving success is often linked to psychological factors. One that stems from fear, self doubt, or unresolved emotional issues. With fear of success or change, we first must consider that success can bring with it significant life changes, responsibilities, and pressure. Some people, they unconsciously fear the demands or the shifts that come with it and undermine their progress to maintain that status quo or the existing state of affairs. Have you ever heard of imposter syndrome? It's really a thing. It's when people who struggle with feeling unworthy or like they're some sort of a fraud, then they tend to sabotage themselves to avoid being exposed, and they doubt their abilities and believe that their success isn't deserved. And this isn't just with someone who's struggling with mental challenges. This is for very sound minded and sane people. They can still have that imposter syndrome. Then there's low self worth. Those with a poor self image might feel like they don't deserve happiness or success. And this belief, it leads to behaviors that confirm their internal narrative, such as procrastination or just self destructive choices. There's fear of failure. That's another reason why people tend to self sabotage. Ironically, the closer they get to success, the greater the fear or the failure can become. People might sabotage their efforts just to avoid the pain of failing after putting in a significant amount of effort. They're more comfortable with the devil that they know. There's overwhelming stress, regardless of one's mental state. It can also be a culprit. Why? Because success requires intense effort and focus. The stress of sustaining a high level of performance, it can lead to burnout or wanting to escape through self-sabotage. So, lastly, we must consider trauma or negative conditioning. I'm talking about those past experiences like criticism or failure. They can create patterns of self-doubt. These are mental barriers that often manifest as self sabotage when success feels imminent. A huge challenge for Shamar is having to, first of all, recognize and then address these patterns, which require introspection, self compassion, and sometimes professional guidance such as therapy. Techniques like mindfulness, journaling, or cognitive behavioral strategies can help sane individuals overcome self sabotaging behavior. But what happens when there's a mental disconnect? It's important to meet such individuals with empathy and patience. Instead of focusing on expecting rationality, the emphasis should be on understanding their perspective and finding ways to communicate effectively. So, what exactly am I saying here? I guess what I'm trying to say is if we know or if we believe Shamar to be a person with mental challenges, we have to show him grace. We must lower our expectations of logical and rational thinking coming from Shamar. His issues are bigger than us. I'm sure Fendy knows this, but she was attempting to right a wrong done by Shamar's management. I believe Fendy knew it was a gamble to collab with Shamar, but sometimes when you show people a different side, a different way of life, they tend to respond with respect and gratitude. If you're dealing with a person who can't tell you what 2 plus 2 is, then you should be communicating with a legal representative of theirs or a person with mental strength who can be Shamar's voice of reason. Otherwise, we will continue to see Shamar on again, off again, from being starting from the bottom and back again. Will he continue to sabotage? I don't know. I believe so. But the question is, will you continue to watch? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.